So, hi, what I wanted to talk today about was my idea. And so we currently have the UACT Trust, which says Section 18A, and we can receive CSI donations, which are tax deductible, and that has all been working very well. Yeah. What I want to do on top of that is create a structure where we create a VCC, a venture capital company, a Section 12 venture capital company, where we can get the same type of tax deductible donation into this. And then from there we build a company where I own 1% of the shares and the other 99% goes out to investors. And what we need to do by law is we need to get a minimum of 5 million, and we need a minimum of 5 investors, and each of those cannot have more than 20% stake, so it can't be greater than 20%. Yeah. So with that money that we raise, and hopefully we raise a lot more than 5 million, what is it that we're going to do with the money? Yeah. So at the moment we train people, we empower them, and we treat them. Okay, and that's basically the business that I've built since 2001. And we have the Ubuntu Academy of Coaching and Training. Yeah. So there's the UACT school, yeah, and we go out and we train people, and that's worth something. We empower people, so we create jobs for people, and that makes sense. And then we treat people, and here we have 24 beds, inpatient beds. And at the moment, the value of these organizations is it's $1,500 per student. Yeah, and we're going to be training 1,000 students there, and then we're going to be training 1,000 facilitators at a similar amount. So people then can go out and provide the same sort of services that we offer here. So that's inpatient treatment, and outpatient. Yeah. So we train people, we empower them that they can go off into their various communities and create resources. Then on top of that, yeah, we're creating a global, that's a sign for global, employee wellness program. Yeah, and that's working already. So this global platform that we've got that goes from New York to New Zealand, yeah, and then we have Hong Kong, Australia, South Africa, Botswana, and the UK all in between. That there becomes a great asset for this organization. So we're now creating, in 5 years' time, yeah, we'll hopefully have 1 million users, 1 million people on that platform, which will be generated by these guys, and these guys, because we've got that Pocket Rehab app going. And there really is a good investment opportunity here for investors that want to invest using tax. So basically you're getting the government to, it's giving you permission to become an investor in here and giving you a tax break for that. And that can be for individuals or corporations. And I'm looking to raise 100 million rand, and I want to convert that 100 million rand into, my goal is to turn that into $100 million in 5 years. Yeah? So that's the time frame. And how I get to that value is, our goal is to train 1,000 coaches. Yeah? And each coach has to do 100 hours of coaching. So if I times that by 100, that gives you 100,000 hours on the coaching side, which is this. And then along this axis, create 1,000 facilitators, which also is times 100 hours each. And if you take 100,000 times 100,000, you get 100 million hours of recovery capital. REC. Recovery capital. And recovery capital is the internal and external resources available to you when somebody wants to move from a culture of addiction, to move from the problem to the solution. And because we're creating that much capital, 100 million hours, I'm putting a value of $1 per hour. So for each dollar you spend talking about the solution, yeah, and this is how many hours we're creating by these guys doing their work and these guys doing their work, and it's already working. So it's not as if we have to build this, it's already there. We're just expanding on it, we're just rolling this out. And then what we'll have on here, hopefully, is we'll have 1 million users. And then that becomes the asset, yeah, that we get subscribers to. And that is how the model of how this company will go off. And this company is going to be called David Collins Coaching, just because I'm the driver for it. And what I want to do is I want to get motivated to get 1% of 100 million, which will be $1 million. And that's my story. On another note, why it's good for us is if we take it to the South African context and our political environment and our current strain that is happening to government and to communities and to basically trying to get over racism and apartheid and all that. Me being a white, straight male that is a 1% owner of this company means that we can, we want to be around when, regardless of what political party is in power. Yeah, so whether it's the EFF, ANC or DA, we still want this to be around. And this is a nice model that combats the white monopoly capital story. It's also a public benefit organization. Yeah, so we are investing in this for the good of the public. Yes, not for greedy shareholders. And so it's really kind of, we all rise together. You only keep what you have by giving it away and all that sort of stuff. And it is really addressing, this is an African solution to a global problem. And I really think it's a great money spinner, because we know from the US Surgeon General's report, for each dollar we spend on here, we save $11 in total, $7 on the judicial system, the crime and punishment side of things, and $4 on the medical treatment. So this recovery wellness model really does benefit. So essentially, if that's worth 100 million, you're saving $1.2 billion around the global drug problem. And I'm really proud of my thinking and what I'm doing, and that's how I want to be compensated. Okay, transparent, access and participation. Those are the three values that we need to be demonstrating. So transparency, this is what we're doing, this is where the money's flowing, this is how we structure it all together. access is, people need to have access to this, which is why I'm making these videos and posting them and getting the message out there. And it's only going to work if everyone participates. And we really need to get everyone to realize that recovery from addiction is everybody's duty. Yeah, it's a systemic illness. Like we did with HIV, it's very similar here. And we roll this out to all the various clinics here in South Africa, the hospitals, the private sector, the government sector, national insurance. It really would speak to whichever political party is in power, because addiction doesn't discriminate and everyone here is impacted. So yeah, thank you. Let me know what you think of my thinking. Thanks for watching.